We are going to be folding and making triangle and triangle centers. So you all have a paper that looks like this. True? And these are the triangle segments that we're going to have a good time talking about. Now you have actually already explored mid-segments in our last notes, and you've talked about segment and you've talked about angle bisectors, but today we're going to talk about these special words, and they are actually points of concurrency, and you'll see that word a ton more times as we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass out sheets of paper, and you are, as a group, going to cut out triangles. And I need you to make sure that you understand what it is that you're cutting out triangle-wise. There are 3 triangles on this piece of paper that I want to make sure that you get. You're going to cut along the solid lines. Here's triangle 1. He's obtuse. Here's triangle 2. He's acute. Triangle 3 doesn't have markings here and here, but you know he's what kind of triangle? Right. Yeah. Now here, the way the copier cut this off is not a problem, because if you keep cutting along those lines, you'll still get your sharp, pointy vertices. And on this one, you need to cut this all the way down. This will be trash. This section here will be trash. And this section here will be trash. So where there's writing is trash. Where there's no writing is triangles. Does that make sense? So I'm going to be putting you into groups of 3. And I'm going to be giving you a purple piece of paper, a green piece of paper, a blue piece of paper, a yellow piece of paper, and a pink piece of paper. So there are 3 triangles per piece of paper and 3 kids in a group. So how many triangles are you going to wind up with? You're going to wind up with 5 triangles. And you are not allowed to call all of the right triangles or all of the acute triangles or all the obtuse triangles. Mix it up so some of you has a little bit of everything. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'll pass out the papers. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the white page, please. And we're going to talk about a few necessary folding terms. Now, don't laugh. Folding is an actual skill that they measure in elementary school. Folding and cutting, both. In kindergarten, you don't get to graduate unless you can cut. Who remembers squizzers? Those are those little scissors. You didn't have to put your fingers through. Oh my God, yeah. Do you remember the squizzers? So. You can't say squizzers without smiling. Say it. I'm ready.
No, it's just because I was.
Nope, put your masks up. I saw you smile. All right, so here's some quick folding terms. Would you please grab your gold colored triangle? You can push the other ones off to the side. Your gold triangle, we're going to first talk about the sides of your triangle. The side triangle is the edge of your triangle. Each gold triangle has 3 sides. Ideally, you passed kindergarten cutting skills, and those sides are relatively straight, recognizing we do the best we can. Everybody okay with that? All right. You have 3 sides to your triangle. Please touch all 3. There you go. Now let's talk about the vertex, the pointy parts. That is where the sides of your triangles meet. Your triangle has 3 vertices. Krista's already 1 step ahead. She's touching all of her vertices. She's so smart. So would you please touch each vertex? That's what we care about when we talk about the pointy parts. All right. When we're talking about matching up, we want you to carefully either line up the sides of the vertices and take your time to make careful, strong folds. And you have your first chance to do that with your straight edge. We're giving you, now granted, inside your baskets, you have a straight edge, but there's some of your straight edges are not long enough. So before you're doing anything, you are paying attention up here. You have this line on your sheet, and you're going to practice folding because you're going to turn your paper and you're going to use this line to help you create a good fold. Now, every good fold, take a look at how nicely my edges line up. Oh, that's very nice, nothing crooked. And they line up very cleanly. And then I went up and I matched the line and I did a nice solid crease. So having that nice solid crease, I just gave you what we call a straight edge. Now, if your straight edges that are in your baskets are not long enough to draw some of the segments that we need, you'll have the ability to use this straight edge to draw the line segments that you need.